Hi everyone. So today we are going to discuss the format of IELTS examination. So if you are a student or someone who's going to start their IELTS preparation, so this is a must watch, because if you don't know the general instructions well, then definitely you're going to stumble across your way while preparing for the IELTS examination. So let's get started. So when we come to discussing about the format of IELTS examination, the very first thing you should know is how the exam is divided. So there are four sections: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. On the basis of these four sections, you are going to be judged and given an overall band score. So let's understand them individually as well. Now, when it comes to your written test, remember that your written test consists of three modules: reading, listening, and writing. So, your reading is for 60 minutes, listening is for 30 minutes, and writing section is for 60 minutes. It means in the written test, it's going to be for 2.5 hours, and these three sections are going to be there. Now when it comes to your speaking test, now your speaking test is held separately because it's a one-to-one interaction with the examiner. Now this can be scheduled 2 to 3 days prior or later to your written exam. In some cases it can be on the same day as well. So the general duration of your speaking test revolves around 12 to 15 minutes. So now what we are going to do, we are going to understand the individual criteria and the general instructions. So let's get ahead. Now when it comes to the reading section, definitely there can be two types of modules here: your academic reading or your general training reading section. So it depends which exam you're going for, but the basic criteria and the instructions are same. You are going to be given 60 minutes, and in these 60 minutes you have to solve 40 questions which are going to be there. Now these 40 questions are going to be divided into three sections, and in their respective sections you're going to have different passages. Now let's talk about academic and general training exam here. Now the nature of text definitely varies with respect to the type of examination. When it comes to the academic exam, the context of your passages is going to be informative or educational in nature. But when it comes to the general training reading modules, they are more work oriented, or they talk about day to day things such as any social event, any social need. So make sure that within these 60 minutes you find your answers and you jot down your answers on the answer sheet as well, because you won't be given any extra time. Now let's understand something about the listening module. So the duration of the listening module is 30 minutes, and in these 30 minutes, one by one, you are going to hear some audios and then you have to answer the given questions to you. Don't you worry, you are going to get some time before the audio starts to play. In this given time, you can read through your questions. Now there are going to be four parts, and in total 40 questions are going to be present which you have to solve. In each part there are going to be 10 questions. So basically 4 into 10, overall 40 questions. Now remember that you cannot rewind or repeat any audio. You are going to hear the audio only once. So make sure that you're attentive and you're careful while the audio is being played. My advice would be to make some notes side by side, or to jot down your answers side by side. Speaking of answers, let's clarify one more point. Since there are two modes of examination, a pen and paper based and a computer based. So in a pen and paper based examination, in the end you get extra 10 minutes to transfer your answers from the question booklet to the answer sheet, because first of all you are given a printed booklet on which your questions are marked. So there itself you can mark your answers, and later in the given 10 minutes you'll transfer those in the answer sheet. But remember, this kind of extra time is not allowed or not given to you in the computer based test, because in a computer based test you are filling your answers on the screen itself, so you don't have to transfer them anywhere. But you do get 1 to 2 minutes in the end to check all of your answers. Now let's understand a bit about the writing section. So again, in the writing section, you are going to be given 60 minutes, and in these 60 minutes you have to solve two tasks which are going to be there. Now definitely the type of tasks are different for academic as well as for general. Now your task 1, in your academic exam, the task 1 is a report writing where you are given a visual input. It can be a bar graph, a line graph, a pie chart, or even some sort of table or diagram. And here you have to summarize the report in 150 words. In case of the general training exam, here you are given a letter writing. So there can be different types of letters. They can be formal letters, informal letters, or semi formal letters. When it comes to your task 2, that is the same for academic as well as general training exam. So here it's an essay writing question. So you're given a question statement, you're given some instructions, and on the basis of that, you have to write an essay for at least 250 words. Remember that the word length is an important criteria here. If in task 1 or task 2 you don't fulfill the minimum number of words, then definitely there is going to be a deduction. So you have to divide your time accordingly because you're going to get a single timer of 60 minutes. So what my suggestion would be that you keep 20 minutes for the task 1 and you keep 40 minutes for the task 2, because naturally the task 2 is more important and it carries more number of words which you have to write. So genuinely the task 2 will take you longer. Finally, we come to the speaking section. Now, here in the speaking section, as I mentioned, that it's going to be a one-to-one interaction with the examiner, and the duration of the speaking module is around 12 to 15 minutes. So here you are judged on the basis of three parts. The part 1 is basically introductory questions, and here you can have any day-to-day questions about your self, your work, your study, your city, hometown, or hobbies. So here make sure that you're answering in 2 to 3 sentences, not more than that. You can take it up to maximum 4 sentences. In part 2, it's basically known as the cue card round because here you are given a topic and some cues. So, cues basically means some points which you have to include in your answer. So, here you have to speak for 2 minutes and you are given a minute to prepare. So, this 1 minute is so crucial because you can clarify your ideas, you can jot down your points, you can make some notes. So, a pen and a paper would be provided to you when it comes to the part 2 of the speaking module. Finally, we have part 3 where you are going to be asked some follow up questions. So, here you have to answer them in 5 to 6 sentences. Now, since these are discussion questions, make sure that you add more reasons or you add some examples to support your view. That's why here you have to answer them in 5 to 6 sentences. So, this was the basic structure of the IELTS examination. I hope you got the main points which are going to help you to kickstart your preparation. So, thanks a lot. See you next time.